Have you ever wondered why a certain person keeps coming into your mind again and again, even when you're trying to forget them? Maybe you see them in your dreams, or their name appears just when you start to move on. My brothers and sisters, this is not a coincidence. Allah might be trying to tell you something through these thoughts. Before you ignore it, before you let your emotions take over, pause for a moment, because what you're feeling could be a message, a lesson, or even a test from Allah Himself. Let's understand the hidden wisdom behind why someone stays in your mind and how to turn that feeling into peace, not pain. In Islam, nothing in your life happens without purpose, not even the thoughts that come and linger in your mind. When someone keeps appearing in your thoughts, when their name suddenly crosses your mind again and again, it is not always coincidence. Sometimes it is Allah's subtle way of teaching you something, reminding you of something you may have forgotten, or preparing your heart for a lesson wrapped in emotion and patience. Allah hence says in the Quran, "And it is He who has made you successors upon the earth and raised some of you above others in degree 0 of rank, that He may try you through what He has given you." So Surah Al-An'am 6 and 165, this means every experience, every person, and even every recurring thought can be part of that divine test or reminder. When a particular person remains in your mind, it may be Allah guiding your reflection, calling you to think about your attachment, your intentions, or even the condition of your heart. At times, persistent thoughts may come because you haven't found closure or learned the spiritual lesson that Allah wanted you to learn. Perhaps that person was once a part of your journey, a blessing, or even a test sent to awaken your heart. Maybe Allah is showing you the need to forgive, to let go, or to purify your love, to shift it from human attachment to divine dependence. There are also moments when Allah places someone in your thoughts as a reminder to make do for them. You may not know their condition, but Allah does. A sudden thought of them could be a mercy, an invitation to pray for their ease, guidance, or safety. The Prophet A said, the supplication of a Muslim for his brother in his absence is accepted. So Sahih Muslim, so when someone comes to your heart without reason, perhaps Allah has chosen you to be their silent helper through your prayers. However, it's essential to distinguish between divine reflection and emotional obsession. Islam teaches balance. If your thoughts bring peace, kindness, and it could be divine. But if they bring anxiety, longing, or distraction from Allah, then it's a call to purify your heart and seek His help to realign your emotions. In the end, Allah's wisdom is beyond what our minds can comprehend. What you feel repeatedly might not be about the person, but about your relationship with Allah through that emotion. He uses people, memories, and even thoughts to shape your heart, test your faith, bring you closer to Him. So next time someone keeps returning to your mind, pause. Don't rush to assume it's coincidence or fate. Instead, turn your heart to Allah and ask, why Allah? What are you trying to teach me through this? Because in that question lies the beginning of true understanding and the doorway to peace. In Islam, every connection you form, whether it lasts a lifetime or only a short moment, is written by Qadr, divine destiny. Allah has already decreed every meeting, every conversation, every emotion that touches your heart. Nothing happens by chance. When you feel a strong emotional or spiritual pull towards someone, it may not just be a matter of attraction or coincidence. It could be a thread of destiny woven by Allah for a purpose beyond what you currently understand. Allah says in the Quran, no calamity befalls on the earth or in yourselves, but it is inscribed in the book of decrees before we bring it into existence. Indeed, that is easy for all Al-Hadith 57:2. This verse reminds us that everything, even our relationships and emotions, is pre-written. Sometimes Allah connects two hearts not for worldly attachment but for spiritual awakening. A person may enter your life to strengthen your imans and faith, teach you sabr, patience, or help you recognize areas in your heart that need purification. When two souls are spiritually connected through Qadr, you often feel an unexplainable sense of peace or recognition. It's as if you've known them before, not physically, but spiritually. This connection is described by the Prophet A, who said, cells are like gathered soldiers. Those who knew each other before will be friendly, and those who did not will be distant. So Sahih Muslim, this means that your connection with certain people may be rooted in the unseen, a link between souls that existed long before your meeting in this world. Such bonds can be signs of divine arrangement, meant to lead you toward growth, reflection, or even repentance. However, Qadr doesn't always mean permanence. Sometimes Allah connects you with someone for a short period to serve a spiritual purpose. When that purpose is fulfilled, the connection may fade. And that too is mercy. Allah removes people from your path when keeping them would delay your growth or test your obedience to Him. Understanding destiny requires trust in Allah's wisdom. Even if the connection brings pain, carries a message, perhaps a reminder to love purely for Allah's sake or to detach from creation and rely more deeply on the Creator. Through Qadr, Allah teaches you that hearts are not meant to cling to people, but to be anchored to Him. So when you find yourself deeply connected to someone in ways you can't explain, pause and reflect. What lesson might Allah be teaching me through this? Maybe it's to make do for them, to learn patience, or to strengthen your submission to His will. Remember, Qadr is never random. Every heart that touches yours does so with divine permission. Trust that Allah connects souls for reasons that lead you closer to Him, even if you don't understand it yet. When someone constantly occupies your thoughts or heart, it can be one of the most challenging emotional experiences in life. You might wonder why you can't stop thinking about them, even when you try. In Islam, such moments are not meaningless. They can be a test from Allah, a test of your patience, sabr, detachment, izad, and trust, tawakkul in Him. Allah tuntan tests every believer in different ways, sometimes through loss, sometimes through waiting, and sometimes through the heart itself. The Quran reminds us of, and we will surely test you with something of fear and hunger, and a loss of wealth, and lives and fruits, but give good tidings to the patient. So Surah Al-Baqarah 255. When your heart becomes attached to someone, and that attachment brings confusion or longing, Allah may be testing your ability to control your emotions and prioritize Him above all. True love in Islam is never blind. It is guided by faith and discipline. Your heart's attachment is not always the problem. The real test lies in whether you let that attachment distract you from your Creator or draw you closer to Him. Many scholars explain that when Allah places someone repeatedly in your thoughts, it could be a spiritual reminder, not necessarily a sign that you must pursue them, but that you should turn to do and reflection. It's a test to see, will you surrender your emotions to your nafs desires or to your Lord? Detachment, zod in Islam, does not mean becoming emotionless. It means loving deeply but holding lightly, knowing that everything you love belongs to Allah and He can take or return it when He wills. Detachment is freeing the heart from dependence on people and filling it with contentment, a rider with Allah's decree. Sometimes Allah delays or denies what you desire most, not to punish you, but to purify your heart. Your longing becomes a form of spiritual training, teaching you to wait with patience, to rely on do instead of desperation, and to trust that His plan is far better than your own. Patience, sabr, in such tests is not passive. It's the active choice to remain calm, hopeful and faithful even when your heart is restless. It's to say, why Allah? I don't understand why, but I trust You. This is the essence of tawakkul, trusting Allah's wisdom even when your emotions are stormy and your future feels uncertain. In the end, Allah tests you not to break you, but to build you. He wants your heart to learn where true peace lies, not in people, but in His remembrance. Every test of attachment is an invitation to return to Him, to let go with grace, and to believe that whatever is written in your Qadr's destiny will find its way to you in the right time, the right way, and with Allah's blessing. When someone keeps coming to your mind again and again, it is not always just a coincidence. In Islam, the heart and mind are not random. They are deeply connected to the soul, ruh, and guided by Allah's will. The thoughts that repeatedly occupy your heart can be transformed into a means of spiritual growth if you respond to them in the right way. Through due supplication and reflection, tafakkar. Allah tells us in the Quran, and your Lord says, call upon me, I will respond to you. Says Surah Ghafir 40 and 60. This verse reminds us that duga is not only an act of asking, but a form of communication between you and your Creator. When a person remains in your thoughts, instead of letting it consume you emotionally, turn that feeling into a conversation with Allah. Say, why Allah, if this person is good for me, bring them into my life with barakah. If not, remove them from my thoughts and fill my heart with peace. This simple act shifts your focus from emotional confusion to spiritual clarity. You are no longer controlled by your thoughts. You are guiding them toward Allah. This is the difference between being lost in the heart and being anchored by faith. Reflection, tafakkar, is also a vital part of this process. When you pause and reflect on why someone stays in your mind, you might uncover lessons Allah wants to teach you. Perhaps that person represents a test of patience, forgiveness, or humility. Maybe their presence in your thoughts reminds you of something unfinished in your heart, an apology you need to make, or a boundary you need to rebuild. Every recurring thought carries meaning. It's up to you to look at it through the lens of imanez, faith rather than emotion. Through dood and reflection, your inner world transforms. Instead of overthinking, you begin to understand. Instead of being restless, you find calm. The Prophet A said, do is the essence of worship. Tamidi, when your thoughts become do, you are not just seeking an answer, you are worshipping. You are surrendering your emotional struggles to the one who understands your heart better than you do. Sometimes the person you think about is not meant to stay in your life, but they were meant to awaken something within you, a deeper connection to Allah, a reminder of your dependence on Him, or a lesson in emotional discipline. That is why Islam teaches us not to fight our feelings, but to redirect them through faith. So the next time someone crosses your mind unexpectedly, don't just dwell on the emotion. Turn that moment into ibadah worship. Make do for them, make do for yourself, and reflect on what Allah might be teaching you. Because every thought that lingers has a divine reason, and when you respond with sincerity, it becomes a step closer to peace, healing, and spiritual maturity.